is development basics. Okay, in this one we will learn about, first thing that we're gonna learn about is variables. Mistake. Okay, variable development basic. Everything start with the variables. Variables are those things are used to hold. Okay, something like that. Let's suppose that I need to let's suppose that you have to means whenever you are in a restaurant, okay, yeah, whenever you are in a restaurant and you ordered something, okay, just like that, you ordered beti kebab. You ordered a kebab, and it means that what you are doing, you are making a request. Okay, you are making a request that and ordered a kebab. Now it will be prepared, and the waiter will, from kitchen to your table, he will take the food, delicious food, and brought that food to your table. So during this process, okay, during this, you make a request for the kebab, and kebab will start preparing. And after the preparing, the waiter will take the food and bring to your location or bring to your table. So in this whole process, okay, if the whole process, you make a request. Now food is preparing is a different process, no? Preparing of food is a different process. I'm just talking about the once the food is prepared and it will bring to your table. So there, in this process, waiter plays a very important role. Okay, waiter plays a very important role. It hold your food, okay, it's hold your food from source to the destination. Okay, it holds your food, okay, holds your food from source to the destination, meaning it will hold your food and then uh, uh, bring to your location. That is the means. So the variable have the same role. Variable holds the information, okay, holds the data, holds the information, and can be used, means they can be holds the information. They had, their job is to hold the information. Okay, they are the holds, their job is to only to hold the information. So here waiter is the holding that your information. Now your manager or your, or whatever the restaurant says that you need to take you need to take the food from the kitchen to the that number of table. Okay, that is the process that someone defined, that this process that uh, waiter have to follow. So waiter holds that food and then place to that table, means hold the food and place to that table. That is defined by the sum of the process. Means some process, means your restaurant manager or someone means restaurant owner had defined that process. So in any process, means the process that defined by the restaurant manager is our code. Okay, we write the code, and we write a process. It means that we are writing a code. We are writing a code, and in that variable is the thing that holds the information. Now we can make the variable or the, just like that we can say that to the waiter to take the food and bring to that table, or bring to those table, or throw that table outside the, sorry, throw that food outside the restaurant. It's depend on the situation, means whatever you are configured. But who is holding the food? It's a waiter. So similarly, variables are also same thing. We are declaring the variables to hold the data, and then we configure our programming, means we can say the variable what you have to do. Okay, So that is the pretty much what is the variables. Variables are holding the holds are used to hold data or information. Okay, they are holding the data and information. That is the main thing of a role of a variables. Now, since they are holding the data or information, at that moment, their type is also important. Okay, just like that for food preparing, preparing the food, the chef is important. Chef is a different type of a different type of employee, and waiter is a different type of employee. Waiter job is to hold the take the food from the kitchen to the table. So it has a different type of job. Chef is to just take the raw material and prepare the food. So it has a different job. So it means that their type define that what the job they can do. So similarly, variables are also have the types, and that is known as a data types. So since variable holds the data, so that's why it's known as type. So variables are also have the type, which is known as data types. Since it holds the information, so that's why it's known as the data types. So data types, let's put a hyphen. Okay, data types. So in Salesforce, we have a few common data types, or we can say that few common data types like string, text information, okay, string, integer, okay, uh, integer means number, okay, double, like I'm also going to like text name, okay, name is a string, means if you want to hold the variable to hold this name of a student, name of a employee, so that is a string type. Name, email, phone, address, and etc. Integer are something like that experience, how many experience of that user have, or what is other integer? Generally, integer have less in common. You guys are sleeping. You are not participating here.
No, we are
Integer is a
here, Suraj.
number.
We're not sleeping yet.
I don't know who says I don't know.
That was me.
Yes, maybe, but you don't know. But you salary. Double are generally used for to store the salary. Salaries are generally stored in the means currency type, currency one. Doubles are used for that. Date.
Always or just the numbers?
Huh?
W used only for salaries or it's used for a particular numbers only? Like let's say the age.
Age. Age is our integer.
Oh, okay.
Age is our integer. Where we have a decimals. Okay. Where
Mm-hmm.
we have decimals.
Okay. That's clear now.
That is double. Integer double. Date, like birth date, or any other date, anniversary date, joining date. Means date, where as the name says, if you have to store the date. And we have also date time. These are the data types, right? These are data types that holds this type of information. Data time means that like appointment time. Okay, appointment time meaning of when the appointment is start, when the appointment ends. Okay, this type of stuff. And Boolean, like we hold the information. This user have a is graduated.
Or
Okay.
the phone number is 10 digits, yes or no, right?
That is the validation.
Yeah,
We are
well,
checking.
yeah,
Yes,
right.
valid user is valid user.
Is he eligible working in the States, yes or no, right?
Yeah, is eligible.
Yeah.
Okay,
Needs
these type of stuff. Means,
sponsorship, yes or no? That's
yeah, means yes or no type thing.
yeah. True or false, basically.
Yeah, true or false or yes or no, anything you can say. So these string, integer, double, date time, Boolean, these are the common data types are present. That these are the common information that you generally we ask to, and these are the common information present, and that these are the common information that a variable holds. Apart from that, we have many more data types too, but right now I'm not going deep dive into that. But if you understand these 4-5 data types, other one it's a easy peasy thing. So it's not a big deal. So these are the just data types. Okay, these are the data types that holds this type of information. These type of information, just like the string is used to hold the name, email, phone, address, and other text related things. Okay, text related stuff. Integer, just like that, holds to experience, age, or other number related things. Double are used to hold the salary, or where we have a decimals present over. Means date, just like you used to hold the date, birth date, anniversary date, joining date, any other date time, where along with the date, time is also important, just like appointment start time, appointment in time. Okay, these are the things. Boolean are generally where we have a yes no type of thing. Is this the valid user or a not a valid user? And Boolean true, yeah, either it will be true or it will be false. Okay, so these are the variables. Okay, variables are used to hold the information. So let's get back into the coding stuff and let's see that how this variable works and how we work with the variables. So for that, I will come up here in my developer console, and from here, I will click new Apex class. Right now, I'm not going to discuss about what is Apex class. No. Right now, we're just going to start from the basic, and you just have to, right now, you just have to follow the same step. Day one class. Just type the name of Apex class. Okay, and hit the enter. It will create a code for you, small code. And right now I'm not getting deep dive into that. What does public means? What is class means? What is the name? The name is the same name you entered earlier. It will be show up here. Now, after that, what you have to do, you have to type public again and copy the same name and here and use this symbols. Okay, just state
Kenan,
thing,
microphone. Okay? Kenan, microphone.
Kenan mikrofonu yap ya.
Yaptım ya.
Güzel kardeşim.
Okay, so you had to just do the same thing. Means this will automatically generated, and this one I write public to here to public here. I remove the class and add the name here and just do the same this thing, curly bracket, and add this one. Okay, this thing I added. Now here we need to play with, that is the structure of a class. We will discuss about later on that what is the structure of a class, what the important of these stuff. Okay, what is the importance of these stuff? Right now, I'm not getting deep dive into that. I'm just explaining that what is the importance of a variable. So as we know that variables have the data types. So whenever we are using a variable, we haven't used the variable in the LWC component too. But when you use the variables inside the LWC component, there is no use case of a data type. JavaScript does not think about a data type. If that variable contains name, it automatically becomes a string. If the same variable contains the number, it will automatically become a number. If the same variable contains some decimal or salary, it will automatically convert into the double. So on the basis of it, what the variable hold, it will automatically change. So that is the property of a JavaScript. I'm not getting into deep dive into that right now. Right now we are going to learn about the Apex and learn about some Apex stuff. So in the variable is something like that. Whenever we are declaring, means we know that the variable have data types. Okay, so same data types work here. So if we have a string data type, means if we're going to store the variable, if we are going to use a variable that holds the string thing or holds the name or holds the first name, last name, these type of stuff. So since we know that this variable going to hold the first name, last name, this thing. So first we write the type of a variable, meaning if it is string, so I will write the string. Okay, string. Now after that, I need to declare the variable name. What is the name, to which name you want to identify that? So let's say I want to go into store the first name. So I will do first name. So this is the variable name. Okay. Now I put the equal. Equal is known as an assignment operator. Assignment means that assigning the value from what is that? If you look at here, so this is your left hand side and there is right hand side. The second thing is right. So it will assigning the value from right hand side to the left hand side. So the string, and the string always be in a single inverted commas. And we type here and Control S to save. So this is the way that how we declare a variable. This variable first name will holds the Suraj name. Okay, this will holds the Suraj as the name. So how we declare a variable? Okay, first data type, then variable name, then equals, and then value, and semicolon. Semicolon means line ends. You write a single one line of the code. That is the one way. Okay, #1. Second thing is that how we declare a variable. Second thing is a way that here it means that you assigning a variable to a value, and it means that you know that what's its hold. You know that what value it can hold. But let's suppose that you don't know what value it can hold, meaning you don't know that. So in that case, you don't use this equal and this way. Give me a moment. Okay. So if you know the value, you can use the equals value. If you don't know the value, you can use the without equals, just like that. String last name. Okay, this one. This one holds value. This one does not holds value right now. We can add the value in this variable later on in a further line of a code. I mean, in next line or another line, we will add it. But it's depend. It depends that where we want to add. But right now, what we did, we just declare a variable without a value. Okay, this is with value, this is without a value. So if I say that then without a value means without a value, then that variable holds null value. Okay, if I say that a variable without, if I declare or say, if I declare, I'll declare is the correct word. If I declare a variable without a value, then that variable holds null value. Okay, null means no value in that. Okay, that is the concept of every programming language. If you declare a variable with a value, it means that it will hold the value, some information. And if you declare a variable without a value, then it means that it holds the null value. That is the basic funda or basic concept of every programming language. So Apex also follows the same. Okay, so this is the way that how we declare a variable. Similarly, if I need to declare an integer, okay, integer age equals to 20. Okay, so if you look at it, here I put inverted commas and here I don't put the inverted commas. So if you add inverted commas, it means that it is a text or it is a string. But if you don't add the inverted comma, it means that it has something else, some different type of variable, but not a string. So every different type of variable have own way of declaration. Got it? So integer age, if you are using double, okay, double salary, okay, salary, since double is an advanced version of a integer, so it also hold okay in this way. It is also without inverted comma, but having some decimal values. Again, date and date time are tackled in a different way. So Boolean is valid. What is that? What we discussed? Is eligible. Is eligible for interview. Okay, is equals to true or false, means true, either be true or false. Meaning true false means that true means that true means yes and false means no. So it accepts true and false value. And here is also I don't put the inverted commas. Even I add the text, but I don't put the inverted comma because it's a way of a Boolean type value. Lean, Boolean. Okay, Boolean type of variable. Date had some different way of initialization, or we can say that declaration. Date has a different way of it requires, because date has a proper formatting. So for that date, I get the syntax. That's why it will declare in this way. Okay, it has some different ways to do that. Date date, birth date. Okay, birth date. So date dot new instant. Okay. As I mentioned that every different data types have different way of work, means different way of declaration. So it is declared in this way. Integers are declared in a without inverted commas. Booleans are declared in a true false type, and date are declared as a date dot new instant. And here we pass the date, year, month, and date. Follows the YYY, year, and DD format. Okay, so year, month, and date. This is the way how the date works. And there is no that is the thing, that is how it's working. And if I used to hold the date time, so date time has a more parameters because it requires date as well as time. So it has a 7 parameters. Seven parameters, or you can say 7 values. New instance. Date time, arrival, yeah, appointment start time, appointment start time is 2023. Month is 2, date is 18, time is 18 means 6, so let's make it 11, 15 AM. Okay, 0, it's a second. Okay, year, month, date, time, minutes, second. DD, HH, SS. Okay, HH actually is small. So it's working in this way. So we have these type of data types. How we can declare a data type. Okay, this is the way that how we can declare a data type, and it holds that particular information. Till now, any confusion?
Clear for now.
Nope.
It's like OOP language.
What is?
It's like, Java language.
Yeah, it's the
It
same.
is?
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as Java. Okay. Now, once we done with that, means first thing is to declare a variable. Second is to process that variable. Okay, just like that. First, you hire an employee, and then you define something what he has to do. Or first thing you have to hire, if you're a restaurant owner, so you will hire a waiter. So that means that you are declaring a variable. And thereafter, you will assigning some task, means what he has to do. Similarly, we are operating something. Now, once we declare a variable, how we can reuse it? Reuse means just like that, I declare the first name, last name. Okay, last name I need to reuse. So whenever I need to reuse, in LWC, we are using this operator, this dot variable name, when we have to reuse that variable. That we learn in the LWC. But in the Apex, it's quite different. If we have to reuse the variable again, you don't have to use this. You have to directly use the variable name and equals whatever value you want to store, just like that. Okay. So if you are not reuse the variable, you can do it this way. Suppose I need to reuse the age. It's equal to reuse the salary. Oh, sorry, not. Okay. Reuse the is eligible now. Same. Only the data types are gone. I don't have to use the data type. Reuse this variable. Date variable. So again, it might be 3. Same thing. So again, we don't need to declare the variable. Conclusion of the story is that we don't need to again reuse the data type. Again, we don't need to define the data type. One time, only one time. Okay, only one time we have to utilize the data type for a variable. If you are changing the variable, okay, if you are changing the variable name, you need to again follow the same step. Means, okay, you need to again follow the same step. But if you are using the same variable again, then you don't need to declare the data type. So that's why I use the word say reuse the variable, meaning we have already that variable present. And if that variable is a new, then we have to use the data type and then new variable name. So that is the reusability. Now let's perform some operations. So while performing some the operations, we need to take care about the fact that similar data type variables can perform operation with the similar data type. Okay. Similar data type of variable can perform operations with the similar data type. Meaning string can perform with the string, date can be performed with the date time can perform with the date time, integer can perform with the integer, double can be performed with the double. But integer and double are the same from the same family. So integer can perform with the developer, double can be performed with the integer. It's up to because both are belong from the same family. So that's why there is no issue in that. But issue is that double with the double with the integer, but cross is not possible. Meaning we cannot use the string with the integer. No. We cannot use the Boolean with the integer. No.
You don't have parsing in here?
Parsing concept is a different. Right now, I'm not talking about the parsing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So they are not operate with each other. Similar funda and same string with the string, integer with the integer, and same data type can operate with the same data type. Date will be the date time with the date time. So that is the thing. So basically, similar data type works with similar data type. Okay. Meaning the string perform operation with the string. Okay. The string can perform operation with string. Okay. Similarly, integer can perform operation with string only. Sorry, integer can perform operation with this integer only. Okay, I mean, similar data type. It is same data type can perform with the same data type only. So I'm using the word operations. What are those operations? Operations can be generally the common operations are either we break it or add it. That's the two things. That's it. Meaning just add, subtract, divide, multiply. These the basic math operation that you learn about. And in those two, we have addition is most in common. So we just add operations, different types of these are sometimes split operation, meaning breaking the things. But operations are also depend on the data type. We will learn about that. Okay, we will learn about the operations. Means different data types have different types of operations. So that we will learn. That is not our that is not right now. So just like that, the string. Let's do add operations. So here we have a first name and a last name. We have a two strings are here. So string can be worked with a string, meaning we can work with the first, we can do something like that, first name plus last name. Okay, we can do perform some operation, something like that, first name plus last name, but we cannot perform first name plus age. That we cannot perform. So operations will always done with the same data type. So first name plus last name. And whenever we perform the operations, okay, whenever you have to perform an operation, that operation must, since we are again performing an operation, so that operation output result of that operation means, let's suppose that we are adding two number, 1 plus 5. Okay, so then 1 plus 5 equal to 6. So that 6 is also need to hold somewhere. Okay, we need to hold that information. Output is also needs to hold somewhere. So for that, in order to, whenever the operations complete, we will also need to store that output, or we need to also need to hold that output. And for holding anything, any kind of a data, we have one option, that is a variable. So since we are performing the operation, so output of a data type is also depend on the what is the input. So since we are performing operation in the string, so output is also a string. If you are performing on the numbers, so output is also a number. Okay, so that is the same thing, same operations, same output. If you are performing in the string, then a string will be the output. So since output is also a string, okay, and data type of the output the input data type. Okay, data type of the output, it's depend on the input. So if the string is input, then output will be also string. Okay, if string is input, so output will also string. Same concept follows. So for that reason, so whenever we are performing an output, so let's suppose that we are sum the first name plus last name, so it will be stored in some other string variable. So I will declare string full name. Okay, full name is equals to first name plus last name and semicolon. Always don't forget to add a semicolon. End of every programming, we need to add the semicolon. Okay, so that is how, means we are performing operation, meaning we are adding two strings. Adding two string means that concatenating. meaning Suraj plus Singh means that Suraj Singh. But adding two numbers means that means 20 plus 1200 12.9k is equals to 12920. Sum. So if operators have different meaning based on the data types, always remember. So if it is a string, so it means that we are concatenating, meaning we are joining. But if it is a number, it means that we are adding. So that is also a difference. So if we are performing in this way, then this one, let's suppose that I am declaring one more variable, double salary salary week 1. Okay, week 1 salary will be 650.56. Week 2 salary is week 1 salary is generally not, but it's okay. Week 2 salary is little bit less and it's 350 because we take a leave. So it's now what is your total salary? So as I mentioned, data type is same. So same data type can work with the same data type and output will also be the same. So total salary salary 1 week 1 plus salary week 2 and semicolon. Always don't forget to add a semicolon. Yes, Umid.
So I have a quick question about the double and integer. So you have, let's say, double 10 and then integer 10. Would you be able to store in double and then
Yes, it will
add
be in
those?
double.
It will only be in double, right? It cannot be in
Yeah.
integer.
Else it will lowers the value.
Okay. Thanks.
But generally we don't do that, something like that, because let's suppose in this way, salary plus age, what it will give you?
Double.
Nothing, doesn't matter. Means I'm talking about the information. No, salary plus salary is a good calculation, but salary plus age is not a calculation. It's we are doing something.
Mhm.
Means, so generally we separate the thing. Means type of integer also define the type of data. So age plus age is a good sum, but age plus salary is not a sum. Age into salary is a different thing. Multiplication is a different thing, but something different. That, but yeah, it can hold in a double. But if you are doing something like that, yes, it can hold it. So now it's a total salary, string, full name. Now, how we can see that? How, where we can see this output? That is question must be arises that how we can see that, because that is the basic funda of any programming. First, we declare a variable, we process the variable, and then we display the output.
System
Uh,
show.
we have to test it or run it somehow.
Yeah. Okay. If you're writing any logic or any programming language, you always do these three things. First, we declare the variables, perform some operations, and display the output. That's the only three things present in any programming. Okay, any programming, whatever way of programming you are thinking, that's the only thing, three things they present. First, we declare, perform operation, and display the output. That's the thing. That's the only thing. If you learn, that's okay. And our major focus is on this one, how to perform. Means that is why we get hired, to perform operations, to write logic to perform operations and display the output. So right now we are not using LWC component to display the output. We are using the standard developer console editor to see the output. And for that we are using system.debug. Okay, Let's suppose that I need to see full name. So I will write full name plus full name. Okay. Full name. So it just I add a plus symbol and add a full name. So that is the one way. Similarly, and suppose I need to see the total salary. Total salary. Total salary. Okay. This one is a prefix so that I can identify that which output pointing to what. So that's why it's, or you can say that it is an identifier. So that I can identify that this is the output of what. So this is that. Now we are good to go. Our basic code is completed. Now let's execute this code. How we can execute this code? Here we have a debug and open execute anonymous window. Debug, open execute anonymous window. And that is the one more thing that you don't need to worry about it right now. This is, if you are doing something like that, just right now, just copy paste the same thing that what I am doing. Later in later classes, I will explain that why we are doing something like that. Okay, right now don't focus on this. This is the way how we can execute this code. That's it. You know, right now you just know that this is the way how we can execute this code. So I will write this one and click on open logs so that whenever the code execution completes, it will open the log for you. Open log and hit the execute. Once you execute, log is open, but right now it's quite messy. I cannot understand anything. So in order to filter out the log, I will click on the debug only. Okay. So you can see that full name is Surat Singh and salary is adding those two numbers, just added and showing me, but it's showing me some lots of 9999999. I'm not sure that why it's populating. 5 plus 6 plus 6 is equals to 12, but it's showing me 99999. Let's make it zeros. And one more thing, you need to save it. That I forget. You have to save it. Save. Click on save or Control S. You need to save the code. Then you can execute it. Debug, execute anonymous window, write the code. So at one time you write it, it's automatically available every time. And then execute. Once I execute again it's showing something like, let's click on the debug to short the code. Now it's good. But it's still, yeah, now it's good. Right now, previously, whatever. Okay. So it's total salary and showing me the total salary, full name, it's showing me that. So this is the way that how we can perform the operations. Okay. Similarly, you can add date with date. Okay. Date with date. Generally, we don't add the two dates. We don't perform the date operation with add date. These type of plus minus operation we are not performing on the days, date or date time fields. These are Boolean. These three fields we generally don't follow the date. You can do that. It's up to you. But generally there is no use case for that. We are adding two dates. No, we are not adding two dates. We are adding two birth dates to get what? No, we are not adding something like that. Okay, so that is that how we can perform the operations. But let's suppose that I need to do one more thing. Here we define the total salary, and here we define the full name. But the first name, if you look at the first name and last name, it's quite of stick with each other. So I need to put a space between them. So what I will do, there is a two ways to do that. But I will follow this one. I will add just like that. Then I will put a inverted commas, space, and then put a plus. I will manually add a space between them. This is a space. Okay, save it. And then again, debug the execute anonymous and execute. Once I execute it, it will show me space between. You can see now. Previously, it is something like that. Now it's something. So this is how we can perform the operations. Okay, different operations. You can perform all operations that what you know. Addition, multiplication, division, subtraction. This we can perform it. Any confusion?
Nope.
Suraj,
Hmm.
there's only there's only first name is Suraj. There's no last name. Why in code will become like
That's a good question.
and then
Actually, you see that
another,
I reuse the. Mhm.
go ahead.
I reuse the variable here and I added the string. That's all.
Okay. Oh, I messed up. Okay, and then
And
when I run the code,
yes,
there is showing
Hmm.
my name, not your name.
when you run the code. So you run the code, might be type here your
Yeah.
name. That's why.
No, it's your name. I just follow up the same exactly, and then when I run the code, and then it's showing it's my name. Everything
You
is.
need to show me.
I
You
don't
need to
know
show
why
me.
I just confused.
You need to show me. But it's not be your name. You are reviewing some other line.
Kumare? Yeah.
Share your screen.
I can't because right now I'm using my laptop and then the video zoom in the iPad.
You can
Just
still share your screen and then flip your camera, or you can turn your camera on, I guess. What I meant to say.
Okay. Let me cut. Mani различима срежан смеясам мен асым чыкатылманы share кылмак иштем азыр.
Неге?
Ма эки анын share кылып энти мананы share кылып көрсөтмөкчү. Ала токтоп сураж көрсөтүп bakayım.
Siz
Көрсөтпөйдү.
sokmadım da.
Just give me a second. Now I share like this.
You have to open your computer first.
Mana? Ma nemeni olsam olursa.
O demez.
No, here. İkiye de.
Belli mi? Kaynatsız. Tamam. Okay. Kınıyor.
Can you let me in, Suraj? The Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you share the screen? Where you are saying your name?
Here.
Oh man, that is. You are saying something there.
Yeah, and
Can you
also
execute again? Execute me for again. Execute for me again. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now click on debug only. Can you go back to your code and save it? You haven't saved yet.
Yeah, I save it.
No, it's showing a star. It means that's not saved.
Maybe Suraj, I didn't put the like last name. You see,
No.
Okay,
full
okay, now
name and
execute
full
again.
name, string,
Execute again. Execute again. Huh?
18
Full
and
name.
19. See, it's capital. One of them is not capital. It's not picking
It's
up.
not, doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
execute
It
again.
doesn't matter.
So that doesn't make difference?
Yeah, that does not make any difference. It's case
Oh.
insensitive.
The
That's-
problem
that-
is
Click on debug only. Yeah, you can see that. As I mentioned earlier, if you don't initialize it, it will be null value.
full name. Okay, full name. Open the code, please. Here. Under the my edit. No. Yeah,
You
but
mean
full-
to initialize the last name, right, Suraj?
Yeah.
On a different
As I
line,
mentioned
you
that
can
if
do
you
it.
don't add, if I say variable without a value, then it holds the null value.
Okay.
That's why it's showing null over there. If you save it,
Okay, let me try to run one.
No, but you don't have last name yet. Oh,
let
will
it
not show
open.
now.
Let it open.
Uh-huh.
Full name Suraj. It's
Okay. So it's
Okay.
I think it's good. So Suraj, we have another problem. We just I think we can ask after we finish this class.
What is the problem?
So we try to clone your code from your repository to our VS Code, and those codes are all red, especially JSON file. So it's previous class, yesterday's class code. Yesterday, right? I think it was, yeah. Full name, last name, first name, string should be.
Omega debug.
Where is that? Can you show me?
Is it correct? No,
No, that is not. It's okay. That you can do it. And
So this
where is the Tom Reese is showing this here?
No.
Clear look at them.
Yeah.
Where's, let me see the first, yeah, here we go. Okay.
Farhad, what's up?
Мальчик, девушкас. Хорошо.
These are the thing, yeah. And we cannot see default